Hey family, it's CET here with the 10th installment of Positive Peeps 30 Challenge. So you're probably going to see a couple of these posted with the same, I'm sitting in the car again and got the same shirt on. So I'm going to do a couple of, I missed yesterday's, but anyway. So today's topic is setting realistic expectations. And so I got these particular tips from Pinterest. Sorry, I don't have the specific website or whatever it came from. So, and this kind of ties in with some of the previous ones, consistency, and I can't think of the other one right now, but anyway, and maybe even some of the ones that you'll hear in the future. So I mentioned consistency. So when we are trying to be or attempting to be consistent and to reach a certain goal or achieve a certain outcome, there may be times when we something happens and we get discouraged. So you don't want to overdo it when you are setting a realistic expectation. Just an example of setting a realistic expectation. I was tasked myself with cleaning a certain room in my home, and it was like one of those catch-all rooms where people would just put things until it just like it was like years and years of stuff in there. And so I just got to the point where, okay, I kept saying that I was going to tackle the room, but just the thought of just looking at it was kind of overwhelming. So when you get discouraged and you get overwhelmed, you get to the place where you just, if you know, whatever that is that you're trying to complete, you kind of talk yourself out of it, and you may avoid that thing. Like, okay, I avoided that room, I avoided going in that area where that room was, I avoided opening that door, because I know when I opened that door, I was going to see all those items that we had all put in that room and didn't do anything with it. And so you want to set a realistic expectation. So my goal is to prepare for a yard sale. And so there are a lot of items in that room that could be put up for yard sale, but I had to tackle that room. So, you ever heard the saying or the question or the riddle or whatever, how do you eat an elephant? And the answer is one bite at a time. So that's how you tackle something that's overwhelming, something that you've been avoiding. You tackle a bit of it at a time. That's at a time. You tackle a bit of it at a time. That's how you eat that whole elephant, not in one setting. You take bites, little bits and pieces and bites at a time. So the way I tackle that room, and still am tackling that room, is that I go down ever so often. For a while I was going every week, and I have to start that again, going every week and just going through and seeing what I wanted to keep for the yard sale and what I wanted to throw away, and maybe ask, you know, my family members if they wanted it. Maybe even I haven't thought of people outside of the family, so maybe I need to start doing that. And then if I can't, then it's going to the area where the items for the yard sale are going to go. So whether I've often been tackled with, when I went back to school, to you had a paper that needed to be done. So one good thing I remember doing a long time ago was that I had a paper to do, and I went and got my resources, made an outline, and ever so often I knew when it was due, so I think I gave myself a couple of days before it was due, and I tackled it, and I did that, a little bit of the paper, a bit at a time, and then before I knew it, it was done. Another thing that I did was if I found in my sources, I found the information that I wanted, I circled it, I highlighted it, or whatever I did, marked it so I knew which page to go to, and had a piece of paper and had like on my outline. So on this part of that of the paper, you want to go to page 23, paragraph 2, and this is one of the sources you're going to need to confirm this point or whatever. So yeah, sometimes we can make things harder for ourselves, and sometimes we can make things easier. And it was those times when I prepared and I tackled that big project, that big paper. Those were the times when I wasn't stressed. I remember those particular times when I wasn't stressed out, and I felt a little bit, I didn't know how the outcome was going to be at the grade when I got, the paper back or whatever, but I felt a little bit better about it. So, and that was, one of those times was a time that the professor had she gave us stages where certain things needed to be turned in. And I thought that was really good because it gave all of us time to kind of like do what, and you may be saying, well, you're in college anyway, you're supposed to be organized, you're supposed to, but sometimes, you don't know how to go about it. But, and I think that, I'm not sure, I think it worked for most of the students. I'm not sure if everyone could do it. The second time when she gave us that, and that was a different class, she gave us that format, I still did, the first time I did better than the second time. I think, I don't know, that was on me. Didn't do bad, but I think I did do better the first time. So that's all I got for you guys. Thanks so much for taking the time out to watch. And I forgot to mention in the beginning, this challenge is by Miss True Redbone. It's by Miss True Redbone, and I believe it's someone else, and I keep saying I'm going to find out the other person's name. I want to apologize for that. I found out about this challenge through I Am Kiva. Check out both of these people here on YouTube, Miss True Redbone and I Am Kiva. So I'm going to sign off here, just encouraging you to give yourself realistic expectations, whatever it is you're trying to save for a certain amount. Don't say, by next month I'm going to have $1 million, not unless you know that you have a definite way on how you're going to make $1 million, within a month. I'm not saying that, hey, maybe one of you out there that's watching, there's a way that you can make $1 million in a month. But, we have to set realistic expectations for ourselves. I want to also encourage you to subscribe, like, share, comment, and tap that notification bell so that you'll be notified every time that I post a new video. Content creators, remember that the content that you disseminate may not be for everybody, but it's definitely for somebody. Have an awesome evening, afternoon, morning, whatever time it is in your area. Bye-bye.